Now at 10, a rally cry.
Concession workers here at Target Field are demanding better working conditions. Coming up, we'll tell you why they say something needs to change.
Plus, a KARE 11 investigation finds problems with VA brain exams identified years ago.
How anyone could allow that to happen and go to sleep at night boggles my mind.
But first, a St. Paul boy and his mother slammed police over his arrest, caught on camera. Tonight, why the NAACP is launching its own investigation.
Thanks for joining us. For the first time, a St. Paul mother and her son are telling their version of the story that they say involves police using excessive force and ends with their arrests.
It all unfolded at a church picnic last weekend. Some of the final moments were caught on camera. The video has the NAACP calling for a review as the family demands the officer be disciplined. John Croman is here with the story. John?
Well, there's a lot to this story, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But first, you need to see the background of this, what led to this arrest.
This video was captured by Alex Weston, who grabbed his phone when he saw 15-year-old Tyree Tucker being arrested by Officer Joel Johnston.
It looked like he was trying to lift the boy up, but it seemed to be having the effect of choking him. A number of people were screaming, "He can't breathe, he can't breathe."
Weston and Tucker's family both belong to the St. Paul Fellowship, which was having a church picnic that day in Ryan Park.
Yeah, just having fun a Sunday afternoon into summer.
Edna Waddle said it started when her 11-year-old son, Tyrell, was arrested for poking another kid with a stick.
This big person, manly person, had a stick and was going to hit my son. My son picked up a stick and defending himself. Okay, it's self-defense.
Edna said Officer Johnston told her he was going to release Tyrell, but then scolded her in a way that upset her 15-year-old son, Tyree.
He said, maybe you should be watching your kids instead of being in the buffet line eating with your fat ass. Like he called, like, you know.
Tyree said he then asked for the officer's badge number, and that may have set the arrest in motion.
And that's when I said, hey, that's disrespectful. That's just like somebody calling you a pig, you know, yeah. And like we're going to eat bacon right in front of you or something like that.
During the ensuing struggle, Edna is seen pulling on her son's arm, something that would get her arrested and jailed too.
I don't even have a parking ticket.
Tyree was released a few hours later to an uncle, while Edna spent the night in jail. In the meantime, Alex Weston posted the arrest video on YouTube.
Because I have a great amount of respect for any officer of the law, but with that respect comes high expectations.
St. Paul police say they're investigating this. Officer Johnston has been disciplined 5 times over the course of his 21-year career, but only one of those in 1995 was for conduct unbecoming. Now, right after our live report from the family's street during the 5 p.m. newscast, a fight broke out between neighbors there. We were there. We didn't witness any serious injuries, and we're still gathering facts about that. KARE 11 will have a follow-up on that situation as it becomes available tomorrow.
But the fight didn't have anything to do with the story you were covering, or did? You don't know?
I do know, but I can't really say much more.
Okay. Thank you, John.
Well, the search for a home invasion suspect is still underway tonight as a 76-year-old victim remains in the hospital. Police say the Columbia Heights man was shot as he returned to his home on Johnson Street. He told officers that the gunman followed him into his garage, fired at him several times, stole his wallet, and then ran off.
Tomorrow, a Coon Rapids man who died while trying to save his 11-year-old nephew from drowning in the St. Croix River will posthumously receive a Carnegie Medal for heroism. Tu Hu Yang drowned in May of last year during the boy's rescue near Taylor's Falls. Another man from Ham Lake pulled the boy safely from the water. He received a life-saving award from the Chisago County Sheriff's Office for his action last summer. Now to a KARE 11 investigation that reveals the Minneapolis VA knew about problems with brain injury exams long before we told you about them.
AJ Legault joins us with more in an investigation we call Invisible Wounds. AJ?
Randy, Julie, this is an audit done in 2013 of the benefit side of the VA here in the Twin Cities. It found in one 3-month period, nearly a third of all traumatic brain injury benefits claims had errors, some of them significant. From the war on terror,
I paid a price,
to the killing fields of Vietnam.
I got all blew to hell.
Military veterans and their families who've turned to the VA for help and benefits because of brain injuries suffered in the line of duty.
And he's trying to tell them, I need help. Not I need money, I need help. Help me.
Have shared with KARE 11 stories of being misdiagnosed, denied access to medical care.
This process almost made me take my own life.
And rejected for benefits.
No, you're good to go. Move on.
After KARE 11 Investigates exposed how the Minneapolis VA used unqualified medical personnel in their compensation and pension unit to do initial traumatic brain injury, or TBI, benefits exams, Congressman Tim Walz wrote a letter to the Office of the Inspector General calling for a nationwide investigation.
It's unacceptable, and I have to tell you, AJ, that this is not a new issue.
He's right. KARE 11 discovered the Inspector General just did this audit in 2013 of whether veterans' TBI benefits claims were handled properly here in the Twin Cities. The audit found incorrectly processed TBI claims in 9 of the 30 cases it reviewed. There were inadequate VA medical examination reports, ineffective training, and veterans not always receiving correct benefit decisions. And in one case, a combat veteran being prematurely denied without a TBI exam even being done.
It doesn't surprise me that the OIG would have already found that.
Pete Hedgeseth, the CEO of Concerned Veterans for America, says he's also not surprised the OIG auditors missed something important. They didn't notice that some veterans were being evaluated by doctors who weren't even qualified to diagnose TBIs.
If they don't have the credentials, how could they possibly give the right assessment?
It's spelled out right in the VA's training manual, complete with the word important with an exclamation point added for emphasis. It's also written on every single TBI exam document a VA doctor fills out. Only 4 types of specialists, including neurologists and neurosurgeons, are allowed to diagnose if a veteran has a TBI. But our investigation found time and time again, more than 300 times since 2010, unqualified comp and pen doctors did TBI benefits exams, sometimes claiming veterans didn't even have a brain injury when their military records clearly show otherwise.
How anyone could allow that to happen and go to sleep at night boggles my mind.
The question now is, will the VA's Office of Inspector General, which has faced extreme criticism and allegations of cover-ups and whitewash investigations by whistleblowers and Congress, actually do a thorough review of whether veterans are being improperly denied care and benefits they earned when their brain was injured in service to country?
Wow. Thanks again, AJ, for another great story. Well, most surgeries have been canceled and rescheduled at the Minneapolis VA for the rest of the week. In a statement, a Minneapolis VA spokesperson confirms the VA detected an unidentified substance in sterilizing equipment and decided to reschedule most surgeries for the week. The spokesperson says the equipment has been cleaned, inspected, and certified, but until the substance is known, surgeries are suspended. Questions still remain about how many patients were affected and when the VA discovered the issue. Heading outside now, we're seeing a soggy start to fall as heavy rain begins to move through parts of Minnesota.
The showers could linger into tomorrow. Belle's in the backyard with our first look at the forecast. Hi, Belle.
Well, hi, Randy, Julie, you're right. We're going to have rain off and on throughout the evening and then off and on all day tomorrow. This entire batch of this very soggy spiral has to come up through the metro. I will tell you, though, the latest run that just came out an hour ago does have a lot of this rain staying in western Minnesota and then falling apart tomorrow during the day in the metro. So the potential of, 2 inches of rain or whatnot does not look possible and plausible here in the metro, but not the case in western Minnesota, where they've already had an inch today, and it will be raining heavily there tomorrow. Regardless, it is going to be wet tomorrow, and we do expect temperatures to stay in the low 70s. Here are your headlines for the first few days of autumn. Autumn arriving this morning, of course. We will have rain continuing through tomorrow. The sun will break out Friday afternoon, and then we have a warm, sunny first weekend of fall. We'll have your fall colors and your 7-day coming up in just a couple of minutes.
All right, thank you, Bill. Speculation over Minneapolis Police Chief Janae Harteau's future was put to rest today. Minneapolis Mayor Betsy Hodges released a statement today saying she plans to renominate Harteau for the city's top cop. Harteau's contract is up at the end of December. Her appointment still needs to be confirmed by city council members.
Pope Francis is proving he is not afraid to get political during his first visit to the United States. The pontiff embraced President Obama's stances on climate change, immigration, and inequality during a speech at the White House today. Vice President Joe Biden and the Vatican Secretary of State also discussed the U.S. embargo on Cuba and the Pope's long-standing opposition to it.
Our Holy Father comes first as a pastor and as a prophet. He comes to be present with his people, but as a prophet, he does exercise a moral voice. It's a voice of persuasion. He talks about dialogue. And so I believe that is the tone and the approach that he took.
The Pope's parade down Constitution Avenue brought smiles to the throngs of Catholics and others lining the street. And in a Mass tonight, Pope Francis canonized Junipero Serra. Well, the Pope has a full schedule tomorrow as well. First on his agenda is a speech in front of a joint session of Congress. That includes an appearance on the west steps of the Capitol. He will visit St. Patrick's Catholic Church and the Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese. He then travels to New York City, where he will hold an evening Mass.
Well, tonight, another employment dispute. Temporary concession workers at Target Field say their wages are too low, and they say they stand in line for hours to find out if they'll even be selected for work. Jay Olstead joins us now with details on that. Hi, Jay.
Hi, Randy. This comes on the heels of Minnesota's unemployment rate for African Americans rising to nearly 16% compared to the overall rate of 4%. Many of those temporary workers are black, and they say they're not being treated fairly. As Twins fans marched their way into Target Field tonight, dozens marched on the outside, hoping for more than just a playoff run.
That ain't right. That ain't right. And we gonna fight. We gonna fight.
About 24 temporary concession workers rallied in the rain, demanding better working conditions in the stadium. This comes after Neighborhoods Organizing for Change released this video showing temporary concession workers in the basement of Target Field waiting for work they claim for up to 4 hours without pay. Workers say they typically get a text message from their temp agency with very little notice saying they need them to come into work.
People are waiting in line for hours with no pay, no guarantee of pay, and they're being asked to stand for 2, 3, and 4 hours to find out if they can work that day.
Their beef is not only with the temp agencies, but with the Twins and Delaware North, which oversees concessions and those temp agencies.
Something needs to change.
Worker Lovey Franklin claims she got paid below minimum wage for a month before she pressed concession management about it. Workers also say they're paid in debit cards and aren't always able to see their pay stubs.
We're not able to see, the hours we work, the pay that we're getting exact.
In a statement, Delaware North told KARE 11 sometimes they don't have enough hourly workers. They said they're aware of the concerns and will review those with the temporary agency. A step in the right direction, say these marchers, who vow to fight on.
We're doing more and getting paid less.
Now, officials with Neighborhoods Organizing for Change say they will be meeting with concession management and the Twins next week. All a Twins spokesperson would tell me tonight was they're, quote, well aware of the situation and will be monitoring the discussions. Julie?
All right. Thank you, Jay. Still ahead at 10, Belinda's back with another look at our full forecast all the way through the weekend.
Plus a shakeup at Volkswagen. The automaker pledges full cooperation into an investigation into its rigged diesel cars.
Plus the price families will pay for a night of trick-or-treating this year. Volkswagen's CEO stepped down today, less than a week after the company admitted it rigged its diesel cars to pass U.S. emissions tests. Martin Winterkorn said he stepped down in the interest of the company and said he was not aware of any wrongdoing on his part. A new report shows 21 million Americans are not saving for retirement. The report from Bankrate.com found that 30 million Americans have tapped into their retirement savings within the last year. Millennials were the least likely to dip into their retirement savings prematurely, but 17% of people between the ages of 50 and 64 dipped into their retirement funds to pay for an emergency.
Apple has a fix for its latest operating system update. iOS 9.01 was released today. It's supposed to fix some problems with the previous iOS version that left some users with locked screens and alarms and timers that failed to play. Halloween costs shouldn't spook you too much this year. The National Retail Federation expects the average American will spend less this Halloween than last year. The average person will spend a total of $74.32, $3 less than a year ago. 68 million Americans are expected to dress up for Halloween this year. They'll spend an average of $27 on store-bought and homemade costumes for the whole family.
So what are you going to be this year, Randy?
Yeah, we're kind of wondering. We're kind of curious.
You know what? I haven't decided yet.
Oh, that's a big
come
deal,
on.
though.
You know what? I know
decided.
there's a lot of discussion about this in your household.
Oh, all the time.
Roseanne's got the big list,
Yes,
and
all the time.
she ordered a whole bunch of things. You had tried them on last night, right?
Well, not last night.
The
Probably
night
this
before.
Keep us
weekend.
updated.
The
I
night
will.
before. If
He
those
turned-
bunny ears
You know
work,
what?
you let
Check
us know.
Twitter now and then. I may let you know.
He turned to me and he goes, "Did you spend $74 on Halloween?" I'm like,
Well, the candy's kind of
probably.
expensive, and we eat it all, so we have to keep buying it. Let's be honest. Come on. I did see something fun on social. I don't know where I saw it today. That's the problem with there's too much of it. But I will tell you that I saw someone said, "Yep, for sure, Halloween blizzard." Right? I'm like, oh my gosh.
All the candies in one blizzard? Would that be a Halloween
No,
blizzard?
no. We're talking about the Halloween blizzard.
Blizzard. Oh my
Wow.
God. You're thinking about food again, aren't you?
It's okay.
The weather.
Good thing the producer says we got to go, because
Oh
that
my
means we
gosh.
got to go. Let's take a look
That's all right.
at
She'll
our
be
fall
okay.
colors.
Did my eyes
That
light up?
happened in 1991.
Yeah,
You know what?
your
You weren't
eyes
born
lit up.
yet. You weren't born yet in 1991, right, Jules?
Right.
That's what the deal is. It's just an excuse, at least. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
All the candies in one.
I thought that
no.
was thunder rolling. That was her stomach, I
Yeah,
think.
that was her stomach. She's just thinking about candy. Lots of beautiful fall color on this first day of fall. Look at all the spots. These are gorgeous spots up 35 up the North Shore that have at least 25 to 50% color. And in Wisconsin, we don't want to forget you either. As you can see, a lot of spots, pockets of beautiful color in Minnesota and Wisconsin on this first evening of autumn. Just a few sprinkles. I'm going to grab my umbrella. This will be something that you'll want to have for the next full day. By Friday, you will not need it. Looks like the sun will be breaking out just in time for the first weekend of autumn. Let's take a look at the numbers. We are not forecasting the Halloween blizzard, by the way. We are not. But we'll have to see. You never know. The long-range forecast, or I should say the shorter-range forecast for the next couple of months, that does include the first couple of months of autumn, is forecasting the upper Midwest to be warmer than average. We'll see if that comes true. These long-range forecasts are really difficult to read, and they, of course, many times are wrong. So I look at them and just like you probably look at them. Now, when it comes to the 7-day forecast, we've got it for you. No question there. Lots of rain right now. Big spiral of rain. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of the models are having the heaviest rains stay along the western edge of the state. That is where they got quite a bit of rain earlier today. And what we do expect is temperatures will be a little bit cooler tomorrow. We did top out officially at 76 today. Look at how much cooler it is to the north. And that will remain the case for another day or so. When it comes to rain, so far, we had a batch of rain that was very heavy this morning from Alexandria through the North Shore, dropping over 1.25 inches in Duluth and over 1/2 inch in Grand Marais. That will happen. That will actually continue to happen as the heaviest rain just off to our west, with the potential of 2 to possibly 3 inches of rain. We'll have to see if that comes to fruition. Bottom line, lots of rain tomorrow, early part of the day, western Minnesota. The forecast is calling for another 1/2 inch of rain here in the metro, and the rain finally moves out on Friday. We expect the rain off and on during the day tomorrow, batches of showers, and then the clouds, well, they thin out on Friday afternoon. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. There it is. There it is again. We will be at 72 tomorrow with those batches of rain. And then when the clouds clear after a cloudy Friday morning, and then here comes the sunshine on Saturday and 78, and on 81 on Sunday with a lunar eclipse on Sunday night. When you talk candy and sugar and everything, it can get quite confusing, and I totally get it, Julie. So
I'm just saying it's a good idea, don't you think?
She's still talking about it.
You know, I like blizzards.
Well, because
do.
I said you could put all the candies, the M&Ms, Reese's Pieces.
And we love Dairy Queen.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Belle.
Bye.
Next in sports, the T-Wolves buy out a former first overall draft pick.
And a big night for the Twins as they try to gain ground in the wild card chase. Sports is up next.
KARE 11 Sports from the Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine Sports Desk.
And so they will head into their September 24th game just one game back of a wild card slot. How exciting is this? Target Field the last few years at this time has been a baseball morgue. This time around, the dance parties are still going on. Twins coming alive in the 4th inning tonight against the Cleveland Indians. Brian Dozier getting the party started, setting this one over the fence in right. Solo shot makes it 1-0. Over Cleveland, 28 dingers for the bulldozer, by the way. That's a lot. Joe Mauer, how about him lately? This double makes it 42 straight games he's gotten on base. That ties the all-time franchise record set by Bob Allison. Eduardo Escobar then knocks in a pair, and the Twins are rolling 4-zip at this point, and that's all they need. Phil Hughes, big reason why. He's terrific. 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 Ks. 3rd win in a row for the Twins. Same 2 clubs tomorrow. Timberwolves buy out Anthony Bennett, waiving him today. Bennett, who came to Minnesota in the Kevin Love trade, just never found his role here. Injuries didn't help, but neither did roster space. Bye, Anthony. Tomorrow night at Target Center, the Minnesota Lynx open up the Western Conference Finals of the WNBA, playing host to a team they've been neck and neck with just about all year. The best of 3 starts right here in Minnesota, which is great. But don't forget, this is the same Phoenix Mercury team that bounced the Lynx from the postseason last year.
We know Phoenix well. They know us well. And not a whole lot of time to prepare. No practice time. They've had some practice time, but whatever. You know, we worked really, really hard to have home court advantage. You know, we're going to make sure that we continue to play with the same energy, and now we've got to shift our focus.
Stand down on your Vikings excitement. It was a nice division win over Detroit for sure, but the boss man himself is telling us to just chill. Mike Zimmer knows the San Diego Chargers will be anything but a pushover, and word today that offensive guard Brandon Fusco is dealing with a concussion and didn't practice today. Ouch. So therefore, the calm down message.
We cannot think, whoa, everything is great now that we won 1 game. We have to have the same intensity, and you know, part of it's me talking to the team, talking about the things I expect, the way we go about our business, and the way we prepare for the ball game. You know, whether it's on game day or on Saturday or Wednesday.
In Winnipeg last night, in Edmonton tomorrow, but tonight, the Minnesota Wild take a break from preseason hockey to help out some really young future stars of the state of hockey. 700 first-year hockey players are participating in this Little Wild program this year in 12 different communities.
It's a lot of fun. It's always nice to come out and try to help out. You were a little kid one time, so you remember the wipeouts and things like that, and just learn how to skate. So just trying to have some fun with the kids and maybe teach them a thing or two along the way.
That's pretty cool. Kids didn't even know Coyle was going to be there. That's awesome. That's sports. KARE 11 News back after this.
Before we go, kids often say and do the darndest things, as demonstrated at a Catholic school in Maryland today. Students honored the Pope's visit to the U.S. by holding their very own papal parade. It included a pint-sized Pope who rode around in his own version of the Pope-mobile. The 4-year-old named Max was flanked by 2 8th-grade cardinals and a 4th-grade Secret Service agent. The Pope even got out of the car and blessed his classmates with the sign of the cross.
I cannot get over the cuteness.
There he goes. There he
Very
goes.
nice.
Look at him.
Very nice. The people's Pope, right?
Hello, people. It is me, I'm here.
I love it.
Very nice.
Not quite as big of a crowd as the Pope, Drew, but full coverage on that tomorrow.